This week, you are going to be learning about fish. This is the last animal group that we will be talking about this year. You will not have to do an adjective page over a fish, and you will not be using PebbleGo to learn about a fish. Just like last week, this week you're going to learn about fish by the books I read you. So this book is just called Fish. So today we're going to learn about why these animals are in the fish group. The author has a table of contents. I'm going to go over it with you. Scaly swimmers, page 4. What makes a fish? Page 22, picture glossary. Page 23, index. Page 24, and to learn more. Page 24 as well. The heading, the title of this page is Scaly Swimmers, so that's what the author is going to talk to us about. Look, what is that? A bass. A bass is a kind of fish. And the author is showing you what a bass looks like if you don't know what it looks like. What makes a fish? Fish live in water. So that's the first thing we should know is that all fish live in water. Fish have gills. They let fish breathe underwater. So like we have our lungs, they have their gills to help them breathe. So we've learned two things that all fish have. They have gills and then they have to live in the water. So the author is showing you this picture because the author wants you to see what the gills look like up close. So you'll see the label where it says gills and it's pointing so you know where to look on the fish to see the gills. Fish have fins. They help fish swim. So right here it's pointing to a fin. So this is the fin of this fish. So they live in water, they have gills to breathe, and they have fins for swimming. Fish have scales. They protect their bodies. Do you remember the other animal group we talked about that has scales? Reptiles have scales. So in this picture, you can see what the scales look like. Fish have a backbone. It keeps their spinal cord safe, and it says backbone. Do you remember the word that we learned that means backbone? It starts with a vertebrate. They have a backbone. They're vertebrates. Most fish are cold-blooded. Their body temperature is the same as the water. Most fish lay eggs. Wow, look at all the eggs. And here's the label that shows you these are the eggs. Some fish are huge. A whale shark is a fish. Some fish are small. A goldfish is a fish too. So something we know about all animals is they all vary in size and color. Fish are cool. Now, what makes a fish? So let's go over the different parts so we can see what makes a fish. So I'm going to start with fins. Fish use these thin flaps to move and to steer their bodies through the water. So just like we have a steering wheel that helps us steer our car so we know where to go, that's kind of like their steering wheel, their fin. Backbone. The backbone surrounds and protects a fish's spinal cord. Gills. Fish use gills to breathe underwater. Scales. A fish's body is covered in small, stiff, flat plates that protect its organs, or it protects its insides. Now this is a picture glossary. We haven't seen this before, and I'll go over it with you. So this is cold-blooded. That means that having a body temperature that changes with its surroundings. So remember it said that whatever the temperature of the water is, that's the temperature of the fish. It says spinal cord. So the cord of nervous tissue that carries messages to and from the brain. Protect. The cover or shield from something that would destroy or injure. And whale shark is the largest known fish that grows up to 40 feet. Wow, that's a long fish. Now, what is something that you learned about fish that all fish have, or most fish have? So they all have fins that help with steering, and they help them swim. They all have gills to breathe. Now, listen to how the author uses the word most when it said most fish are cold-blooded. The reason the author just said most and not all fish are cold-blooded because the most is telling us that not every single fish is cold-blooded. And Here the author also says that most fish lay eggs. That means that not all fish lay eggs. If all fish laid eggs and if all fish were cold-blooded, then the author would have used the word all for that. So this week I will be reading you a book about fish, and every day I read you a book about a different fish so that you can learn more about fishes.